Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from Techno Buffalo, and this is a look at the HTC HD2, which has the largest screen of any smartphone available on the market right now. We're going to be taking a look at this device compared to the iPhone in future videos, but we're going to start off by talking about the device kind of on a higher level. We're going to talk about the hardware and the premise behind the HTC Sense interface. So let's get started. The device has a beautiful thin design. It's 11 millimeters thick, which is actually a little bit thinner than the iPhone. The screen is 4.3-inch diagonal at WVGA resolution, so that is 800 down and 480 across. As comparison, the iPhone is 480 down and 320 across, so it's about double if you do the math in terms of how many pixels there are on the screen. The screen goes from edge to edge, and all you really have are just 5 hardware buttons on the bottom here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit because they are adorned with a beautiful brushed metal coating. Let's go around the device a little bit. On the left side, we have a volume rocker. On the bottom, we have micro USB for syncing and for charging, and there's a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is great, so you don't have to get a converter jack or something like that. And there's the little microphone. There is nothing on the side or on the top. Turning around to the back, we see a beautiful piece of real brushed metal. So if I take this off, which is kind of difficult, let me give it a try, and I flick it, you can hear that it's actually metal and not plastic as found on a lot of other smartphones out there. The battery is of size 1230 milliamp hours. This device has pretty good battery life. It'll get you through about a day and a quarter, maybe a day and a half with moderate amount of usage. I should mention that this device right now is only available in Europe, but you can import it, get it unlocked, and put it on AT&T and T-Mobile, but it's going to cost you a lot. Right now this device is about $700, but it's coming to the US in Q1 of 2010. Rumor has it that it's coming to T-Mobile, but we haven't heard yet exactly where it's coming. On the top here we have a speaker next to a 5-megapixel camera and a dual LED flash, so you really get a lot of light from this device when you're taking pictures with the flash. And then there's a nice rubbery coating on the top of the device up here and down here, which makes the device feel very firm in hand. Okay, so let's turn on the device. This device is running Windows Mobile 6.5 Professional, so right off the bat you get this unlock screen that is characteristic of Windows Mobile 6.5. And it's great because you can tap the little lock icon and you get a drop down of any area that you can action on. So if you have a new SMS, you'll have a little SMS indicator, a new email like I do here, you'll have an email indicator, missed calls, voicemail, and so on. And what this will do is if you unlock one of these particular notifications, you'll actually be taken to that respective application, so it really saves you some steps. I'm just going to unlock the whole device and be taken back to this screen. So let's do a bit of an overview of the HTC Sense interface. You know that the Sense interface first made its debut on the HTC Hero. It comes in a very different form on the HD2, but the concept is the same. HTC has kind of put together these multiple panels that are customizable, really. And you can kind of get to them by sliding your finger along the bottom. And the graphics on this device is beautiful. It runs on a 1 GHz Snapdragon processor, and it has a tremendous 448 megabytes of RAM, of which about 200 is usable, so you can really multitask a lot on this device. Here on the main screen, we have some pretty cool things. We have the weather clock, and so what it'll do is reach out with GPS to find out where you are. Whether you're in New York or Paris or Australia, in a particular city, it's going to show you the weather in the city that you're in. And it will also animate the background with a beautiful weather animation. Let me demonstrate sort of what that looks like by going to the weather demo. So if it's sunny, you will see a ray of sunshine kind of go through the time. If it's raining, you'll get a windshield wiper that comes down and takes the droplets off the screen. If it's snowing, you get frost on the screen, and so on and so forth. Let me try to get the weather animation to go. Let's see. There it is. So right now it's cloudy, and clouds are sort of filtering in from the sides. Very nice. Now, some other things that are useful on this main screen, we have a link right to our calendar right here, which takes you to actually the calendar tab in HTC Sense. Also, we have a very useful row of icons down here, and if you flick upwards, you get an additional 4. What you can do is customize these to either be a website or a contact or a program. So you can really access the things that you like to use on a regular basis right from this main screen. If I tap on the plus button and I say I want to add another program, I can flick down the list. It has beautiful flick scrolling. Say I want to add the marketplace, and there it is. Going over to the right, we have favorite people. And what this will do, it'll actually synchronize with Facebook. So if you see a little F in the bottom left corner, that means I've synchronized that person's contact with Facebook, so it's pulling their information. And as we're going to talk about in a future video, it'll actually pull down their birthday, their Facebook updates, and their entire photo album, or albums if they have more than one. So it's a really smart way to sort of bring together all of these people that you call on a regular basis. The next tab is email, and they make it really easy to flick through your email quickly and sort of see who has emailed you without actually drilling into your email application. And we're going to talk about this experience compared to the iPhone in upcoming videos. Jumping along a little bit, we're not going to cover everything here, but we have an integrated Twitter tab right now. So you don't actually have to launch the Twitter application or download a Twitter application. You can use the one that just comes built in. And it works quite well. So if you want to tweet something new, you tap up here, what are you doing? You can attach a picture, you can attach your location if you want, and you just tap update when you're done. You can also see your mentions, your direct messages, and your favorites from this screen. If we go to the right, this is the full weather forecast, which again makes use of that gorgeous background animation. And we can add additional cities. So I'm going to add Paris. Let's say I'm traveling. Here it is. And here is the weather for Paris right now. And I can flick between where I am now, here in Pennsylvania, or I can go back to Paris with beautiful screen animations. Going over to the right, we have a stocks tab, which is very simple, and if you want to see more about a particular stock, you tap on it, and you tap there for details. Right now, I'm over Edge. If you import this device from Europe, you're only going to get Edge. You're not going to get 3G coverage, but of course, you do have Wi-Fi if you want to use that. Here we are in the Photos and Videos tab, which makes really good use of the powerful Snapdragon processor. Watch this. If I turn over into Landscape, I get this beautiful animation that lets me flick through pictures, and let's say I want to see this one. It comes forward in a beautiful animation, and it has pinch to zoom like the iPhone. This is the first time Windows Mobile has been able to do multi-touch, and it's really implemented very, very well, I think thanks in part to the really fast processor. So let's go back into Portrait. So that was just a quick look at the HTC HD2. The screen is absolutely gorgeous on this device, and it's a very good contender for the iPhone. If you ignore the fact that the iPhone has 100,000 apps that you can download, it's seriously a very close contender in many different ways, as we're going to find out in future videos where we talk about the internet browsing experience, the multimedia experience, and some other things like that. More coming soon on the HTC HD2.